and to the republic for which it stands,
one nation,
under God, indivisible,
indivisible,
liberty,
with liberty and justice for all.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave? Let us repeat the four-way test. Of the things that we say or do, is it the truth? Is it fair to all concerned? Will it build goodwill and better friendships? Will it be beneficial to all concerned? Our invocation today is with Mike Roberts.
We are reminded that the harvest is almost in, that the fall will bring the change of leaves. It'll bring change as we look forward to the winter and then the promise of spring. So with that thought, let's bow our heads. Father, we are so truly grateful for you and for the blessings that you have provided. The food that was made today for us, for the farmer who farmed the fields, who harvested the crops. We thank you for each person that was gathered here today, who bring to the table the service above self. We ask that you would watch over each and every one of us, watch over our meeting, and be here in the midst of us. And we say all of these things in your precious name. Amen.
Thank you, Mike. For visiting Rotarians and guests today, I know we have Greg Leonard, president of the AM Club, with us this morning. If you'd give a wave. We have Max Eimiller, who's converting officially, and in your presence here today, to full membership, and we'll stop introducing him. Our guest speakers are here with us today, Tom Stuart and Aaron Wheeler, sorry, almost blanked on that. And did I miss anybody else? Okay, good. As always, we have a full agenda today, but especially today. I'm going to do my best to run through this quickly. So if I talk too fast, you can catch the recording or call me later. Our Rotarially Yours recorder today is Sue Jones. Many thanks to you and the Communications Committee. A couple sad notes. I do apologize for lagging behind on this. Sometimes you start something and it gets away from you. On September 10th, Barbara Wigley passed away, former member, spouse of Bud Wigley, who passed away, I think, a year prior. On September 14th, Mike Roberts' mother passed away. We send them our care and prayers. On lighter note, a big thank you to Russ Webb. He is stepping up to serve as co-treasurer to help Maria Kinberg out on an interim basis while she takes care of some personal things. District 7090 conference is scheduled for October 21st and through October 23rd. Thursday, the 21st, there's a virtual conference from 7 to 9 p.m. You don't want to miss it. Something about a cocktail party and appetizer feature. I don't know how that's going to be done, but sign up and find out. Friday, October 22nd, District Governor Ann is encouraging every club to engage in a day of service, or probably a few hours in late afternoon, and then follow that with a social. Saturday, October 23rd is an in-person conference in the Hamilton, Ontario location from 9:30 to 3:30. We can get there, but they can't get here. With hopefully the chance to streamline the keynote speaker for those who don't head over to Canada. Please consider taking part in the conference. You can register on the district website. Greg, would you like to come up and talk about your club's event here in a week or so? We have tickets available. I think, yep, Kathy Birch has them. And with that, I do have a $10 bill from Penny Hutton to go in the bucket.
I appreciate this opportunity. I guess by way of short introduction, in a previous chapter of my life, I was Dr. Leonard. I worked as a school psychologist for 35 years, the last 21 at Bemis Point. And now I'm a retired Rotary guy. On this Sunday, October 10th, we have our fun annual football party. It's going to be hosted by EBC on Chautauqua Lake up in Bemis Point. The doors for us open, or the event starts at 7 p.m. The football game is 8:20. Food, dinner will be served from 7:30 until 9. Turkey and some other assorted foods.
Come win some money, have fun.
Yeah. Donation of $40, and we appreciate your support. If I could mention just the bike ride real quick. Also, we are going to ride bikes again to raise money to eradicate polio. That event is scheduled for the 23rd, and I believe we have a couple of riders from Jamestown that are going to join us this year. For those of you that might be intimidated by a bike ride, I am one of the participants. So and last year we rode around the lake, which was a 44-mile ride. We decided to cut that mileage in half this year. We're going to do a 20 to 25-mile ride, pretty much flat terrain. We haven't decided the actual course, but it will be mostly flat, folks. So if you
have a rain venue for that bicycle ride?
We don't at this point. It's pretty much October 23 or bust. But if it's pouring, we'll find a backup date. There's only probably 3 or 4 riders, so we can make an arrangement for a backup. Thank you.
Some of these riders ride in the rain and the snow and everything else, so who knows? On that ride for polio, your Rotarian that came earlier this week or last week, page 20, Canada and the United States was highlighted. That was District Governor Frank Adamson and the ride for polio. Was it? Oh yeah. It highlighted the fact that Rotarians across the district raised more than $160,000 for polio. Hopefully we can break that record. So let's see, we took care of that. We took care of pedal for polio. I might even ride in that. And Michelle Jones. No, you're next on my list. While Michelle's coming up, highway cleanup is October 9th. Sign up with Mags.
We're going to gather at 9:30 and start at 10.
Gathering at 9:30, on the road by 10.
Yeah, and that's at the park and ride.
Park and ride across from Moonbrook.
They can see it. Oktoberfest. I hope everybody's excited. We got about 40, 45 people coming, I think, as my new count. We're looking for 100, so any more we can get to come, that would be great. We got some good prizes coming in. Overnight, 2-night overnight stay. We've got John Gren sent me a message. He's going to send me a whole packet to have in a raffle. We got some wine, we got some booze, so some good stuff to raffle or auction off. So hopefully you'll be here so we can make a little bit of money while we're doing this. Couple things I didn't put out in the email when I sent the reminder is we're going to do a little pumpkin painting for the kids. So there's some activities scheduled with Ruth in the group. So if you want to bring kids along, you're welcome to bring them. And it's only $5. So if they want to participate in the food menu, I did get verification from Southern Tier on that. Comes with 2 beverages and food. So we're gonna have brats, the whole Oktoberfest fair. Any questions, please see me, email me. If you didn't think about bringing it today and you want to still come, I just take an email, know that you'll pay at the door. We just want a head count before Thursday because I'm leaving town and I want to make sure I'm ready to go before I leave. So anything else that I'm missing? Anything? Time 5 to 7 or 5 to 8. Sorry. 5 to 8, $25 per person.
We can sign up online.
You can sign up online. Tickets can be purchased online. There's a little fee associated with it just so we don't have to pay anything, but that's all ready to go. It's on the website on the link. So just sign up. We'll get the head count from there as well. So you don't need to let me know if you buy it online. Okay. Perfect. Thank you. Hope to see y'all there.
Entertainment, yeah, Bill Ward is playing. And just a side note on this. If your dietary issues, concerns, questions, you're counting calories or anything, you do not have to participate in the food fair. While it is a fundraiser and we are selling tickets, the tickets are specifically for the 2 beers and the food. The live entertainment is all included. We're doing that. It's the brewery is open to the public that night. So again, you don't have to buy the $25 ticket. If you show up, you don't want the beer, you don't want the food, but you want to enjoy the music, we'll take a donation too. Yeah, $10 is what we're hoping to get off each ticket. So if you bring 20 people times 10. Joni Blackman. And then Ruth, you're up after that. Jenny, I was just gonna have you throw your last pitch on the polio day. Then we'll do that. So stay up here.
Oh, pedal for polio. That's what I'm up here for. So Greg has picked up, Greg is doing the heavy lifting for us. Yay. Jake Schrantz is going to ride. Last I heard, there was a man with the last name of Anderson who might ride. I'm not sure if that's still true. He was. Are you still going to ride, Chris? Fabulous. And then our beloved leader said he's probably going to ride. So let's hold him to it. So the donations can be made. I'm going to send an email out again. We already have almost $500 in donations from those of you who already responded to my first email. So I'll send another email out today and you can just click on that and put your money there and it will go right to the foundation. Okay. If you want to send a check, because you're more comfortable with that, you can send that to Kathy Birch. You can send that to her and she'll get it to the Pedal for Polio bucket. Any other questions? So we want to hit $1,725 and we're at about 500. So you know where you stand. Thank you.
We want to hit that 1,700 because the district's asked each of the clubs in the district to target 1,700 or more. If each club does that and the district as a whole raises 60,000, there's a Canadian foundation that's going to match that with an additional 60.
I didn't give Kevin a screen share. So 3 announcements. First of all, Friday, October 14th at noon will be the Rotary Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion Committee meeting at the Robert H. Jackson Center, or you can do it by Zoom. And if you want more information, you can contact me, Ruth Lundeen. So I think we've got some good plans and we are making good progress. On the 16th, Saturday, the 16th is the Hands on Jamestown Neighborhoods Cleanup that we Rotary are sponsoring. And so it starts, registration starts at 8, and I don't have a final location for the registration yet. So please let me know if you are even thinking about attending so I can get that information for you. It will be just the north part of downtown Jamestown. And so we're looking forward to that. And the reason I was showing you the pretty, they call it a safety green Rotarians at Work t-shirt is that if anyone wants to order one, to please let me know today, because I'm going to order them so we can get them in time for the 16th. But they're also good for anything where Rotarians are at work. So I encourage you to let me know, and let me know your size. It's a unisex t-shirt. So let me know the size that you would like. You can send it in chat, maybe. If you're on Zoom, or email me so that I can get that order in, because we will get a discount if we get enough quantity. And once again, it's good for the hands-on Jamestown, but also for anything else. So thank you.
Okay. Any other announcements? Did I miss anything? Yes, I did. Here's my note. 50/50 sign up sheet is going around. And we're good through the Christmas party. So thank you for that. Birthday table time. Sue Jones? Yeah, we could do some clapping. It's
Oh, it's birthday time. And I'm not going to talk too much today about the foundation because November is foundation month and you can hear from Greg then. But I will say how proud I am of all of you for all of your support. This month and the end of last month has been really hefty because of all the donations we're asking of you. And I can't say enough about, I write the checks too, so I know how it is affecting all of us. Thank you, thank you, thank you for your continued support of the birthday table, the birthday donations, polio, our fundraisers. We could not do what we do in this community without all of your support. And we are so excited about our next project. David and Marissa are headed to Pakistan to refurbish a room in a building that will be used for polio vaccination and COVID vaccination. And it is coming to fruition this month and beginning of November. So bravo, all of you. Happy birthday, October 3rd, passed to Kay Marker. Oh, Kay Marker Magnuson, I'm sorry. I've known her longer as Kay Marker, longtime neighbor and friend. And she is an extraordinary stained glass artist. If you have not seen her work, stop by her house sometime and see the things that she has hanging. It's beautiful. And we are also very, very proud and excited about the new book that has been written by Walt Pickett about Kay's life, and it is coming out in April. I have ordered mine, and it proves to be a very, very interesting tale. I thought the ceiling was coming down there for a minute. And she is married to Pastor Lee Magnuson. So happy birthday to Kay. For those of you who don't know, Kay is suffering from vertigo, and it is really difficult for her to be up and about and out. So that's why we're missing her. Happy birthday to Heather Lynn on October 7th. She is a real estate broker for ERA, and she was sponsored by Mike Roberts. Thank you to Heather on October 7th. Happy birthday to Mr. Jamestown, Russ Dietrich, whose birthday is October 9th. He is retired from how many places, Russ? He's a Paul Harris Sustaining Member, past president in 1982, 1983. He was sponsored by none other than John Hamilton. And he is the holder of 3 Paul Harris Fellows. Thank you and happy birthday, Russ. Happy birthday to Lisa Haglund, whose birthday is October 11th. She is the CEO of Heritage Ministries. She is also a Paul Harris Sustaining Club member. She attended Alfred University. She was sponsored by Jennifer Gibson, and we have a hard time getting her here because she's in Gary someplace. Happy birthday to Counselor Phil Calla, whose birthday is October 29th. He is, his role is really as a public defender. He has the firm of Philip A. Calla, attorney at law. He attended Ohio Northern University and New York State University at Buffalo. He was sponsored by Max Pickard, and he is a Paul Harris Fellow in 2003 and 2017. And finally, happy birthday to Diana Meckley. For those of you who want to be jealous, Diana and Lou are crewing for Jeff Turner at the Hot Air Balloon Festival in Albuquerque, New Mexico. And we have seen some of the pictures and they are absolutely magnificent. Yes, 4 a.m. every morning. But they get to sleep sometime. Diana's birthday is October 30th, so we'll have plenty of time to wish her a happy birthday when she gets back. She is retired from the Resource Center. She attended Millersville State University and St. Bonaventure University and Alfred University. She is past president in 1999, 2000. She's a Sustaining Club member. Her sponsor was Jim Cunningham, and she holds 2 Paul Harris Fellows, and she is the chairman of our Literacy Committee. So happy birthday as well to her. And the winner today of our, whoops, poke my eye out there, of our birthday free lunch is Diana. So, and join me, please. Happy birthday to our pumpkins. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear pumpkins. Happy birthday to you. Thank you.
Well, Tori, come on, help make sure I do this right. Max, please come up. No, do I read this first? All right. Fellow Rotarians, it's my privilege and pleasure today to welcome into membership in our club, Max I. Miller, whose name was proposed by Mike Roberts. The proposal has been reviewed in accordance with our club bylaws. Max, we now proceed to admit you into membership in the Rotary Club of Jamestown and to the Fellowship of Rotary throughout the world. You have learned that the ideal of Rotary is service, and our principal motto is service above self. The object of our club and all Rotary clubs is to encourage and foster this ideal, and we know that you will share in this effort. You have been approved for membership in this club because we believe you to be a worthy representative of your vocation, interested in the ideals of Rotary and willing to do your share in translating these ideals into action. You have agreed to accept the obligations of membership in this club and to obey our Constitution and bylaws. You have also learned about the specific committees and opportunities to engage with Rotary. We are eager for you to put your gifts and talents to work alongside your fellow Rotarians. Now I have the pleasure of asking Max, maybe asking Mike to pin the Rotary emblem on Max. We hope you will wear this emblem with pride. Welcome to the Rotary Club of Jamestown, Max. And a message from Max.
Hello. First off, I'd like to say thank you to everybody. You know, this is a great honor for me. As some of you know, I just moved back here in May from Arizona. I was born and raised in Jamestown. This community means a lot to me. A lot of people, when I told them I'd moved back from Arizona, they're like, why? You know, the winter's here and all that. And honestly, it's because of the community here. There's my family, we've gone through a lot the past few years, and the way the community's rallied around us, it's really important that we give back. And, I'm very blessed to have a dad and a mom who've always done that and shown me that. And now it's my turn to do the same. So thank you.
Joni, 50-50, we're ready. $40 to the winner. You want Aaron to pull it?
Last number, no, 8367.
8367. Ah. Thank you, Randy. We will donate that to the Oktoberfest. And dig deep. Doug's on his way up.
It's been 2 weeks since we met in person, so you'd think there'd be a lot of things happening in the newspaper. So it's going to be 2 weeks before we meet next. So when I come back in 2 weeks, I know you're going to make up for it. But there are a couple things today, and Vicky has to leave early. Thank you, Vicky. I see Dan Overcash is listed on the tube here, right there. Regetta was recognized for her WCA Foundation work. So Dan, there's a way you can do the Happy Buck online.
I
So
will send you a check.
didn't hear you. Say that again.
Yeah, I'll send you a check.
It's in the mail. Yeah, the Postmaster General just announced another mail slowdown time for Christmas. Oh, amazing, amazing. Kathy, your picture wasn't in the paper. Where'd she go? She was right there. Here, over there now. But the Gebby Foundation was mentioned for collaborating on Potter Terrace future. So I'm sure that should be a great thing to get going good. There are a bunch of other things, but we are running tight, so I will not get into them for your benefit. But it is football time, we know, and just think of Lucy and pretend the football music is going. And think of Spud, Michigan State won. Think of John Lloyd, Penn State won. Cincinnati, think of Mike Roberts, Ohio State won. Pitt, think of Ken Strickland. Michigan, Ohio U. Kent State, think of Vince and myself. I'll put in for that. Air Force, think of Vince. Navy, think of somebody. Mount Union, I'm thinking of Tori. Were you Mount Union grad? If I remember right. Yep. John Carroll, our favorite Muhlenberg. I know we'll get a check in the mail for that one. RPI. Carnegie Mellon. Worcester. I think we have a Worcester grad or two here. Grove City, Ohio Northern, and Brockport. So Becky, so thank you. Keep going with football. I'm going to turn the podium over to a young lady who is going to donate well for having missed meetings because of business, who has to leave early today because of business, and who is heading up the volunteers for a great United Way campaign. So happy bucks, let's go.
So these are both happy bucks and apology bucks. So Doug cornered me at the John D. Hamilton Award and informed me that I had not been at any meetings and I had been in the paper and I had denied him the opportunity to raise money. So I'm putting in $20 and I'm going to say a whole bunch of things. So first of all, apologies for not having been here for several weeks and having to leave early today. But it's been a very busy time at United Way. We kicked off our campaign. Some of those happy bucks are for our campaign chairs, Chris and Mark Tarbrake, who many of you know. Very excited to have them at the helm. I will also put in a happy buck for Max, whose dad chaired the campaign in 2019. Max, I am coming for you. Don't worry. Not this year, but just, you know, watch out for me. I also thank you to our leadership circle donors. We had a leadership circle reception. And then the next night I went to the John D. Hamilton Award, both great events. And it just reminded me of all the wonderful people in this community and how great it was to see many of them at those two events. And I also hired a new marketing person. Part of the reason that I have been so busy, Nicole Gustafson, who worked formerly at the Jackson Center. So I'm very excited for that. And there's also an apology buck to Marion Becker-Rink as well in there. So as you can see, there's been a lot going on. So very, very blessed to be a part of this community and part of Rotary. And I'm looking forward to seeing you all on October 11th at the Southern Tier fundraiser.
I'll throw in $10 for happy bucks because yeah, my Buckeyes are back headed in the right direction, but there'll be a couple of games coming up soon. My good friends from Penn State, October 30th, we'll see you there. Of course, Kent State, a daughter and a father that graduated from Kent State, and I grew up 50 miles from Cincinnati and they're doing well. But I also want to inducting Max today was bittersweet for me. I mean, great memories of being a Rotarian for so long. My sponsor was Harry Nicholson, and I need to fact check this, but I think Harry Nicholson's sponsor was none other than John D. Hamilton, which along with Russ. So it's those roots that bring community-minded people together. And so welcome, Max. We're thrilled to have you.
So I will be putting in $20 for happy bucks for a few reasons. One, getting inducted. Thank you all again. Two, I just recently became a first-time homeowner. So very happy about that. And the Buffalo Bills won by a lot yesterday. So there you go.
I wish I had a bill with John Hamilton's picture on it, but I don't. But thank you, John Hamilton.
Okay. We're pretty good on time. Thank you, everybody. It's my pleasure to bring up Becky Robbins to introduce from our program committee to introduce our guest presenters for today. For those attending by Zoom, reminder, you are welcome to ask questions during the Q&A by voice or by typing your questions. And I'll get the chat box up there.
Right. Okay. Welcome to our speakers. I'm sorry it's taken so long to get to you, but you have plenty of time to speak, right? Our speakers today are from Colecraft Commercial Furnishings, which is located on Allen Street in the city. And we're going to have two presentations. First up is Aaron Wheeler, who is the current Chief Operating Officer of Colecraft. Aaron began at Colecraft in 2012 as an administrative assistant. And then she's worked her way up. She held positions as Colecraft's materials manager, director of materials, and vice president of corporate administration. She's originally from Frewsburg and still lives there today. And she enjoys the opportunity to be challenged and to grow with a small Jamestown business. Following Aaron, we'll hear from Tom Stuart, Colecraft's national sales manager. He's originally from Harrisburg and moved here with his wife Susie, who I know and who's still at the Southwestern Elementary School. They moved here in 1988, raising 2 children. Tom was a pharmaceutical sales rep and also worked 8 years in residential construction. I assume in sales, but I don't know. Oh, okay. I can imagine he's very good at sales. He's a graduate of both Xavier and St. Bonaventure University. And one interesting fact is that he's the licensed funeral director in Pennsylvania. So he threw that in. Tom's an active member of the Faulkner Rotary Club. So let's welcome Aaron and Tom.
Just gonna get the screen share set up for you.
Thank you. As the first slide shows, Colecraft is a boutique manufacturer of custom and bespoke commercial furnishings. The difference between custom and bespoke, bespoke is not generally that often heard in this area, but what it means is more of a blue sky design type of furnishings. So custom, while we can take anything and create whatever size, whatever shape you would like, bespoke speaks more to taking something from you've never seen before and creating it and making it your creation. You can see on the slide here that kind of explains the custom, the bespoke, anything between there, and then when we come up with a custom solution for our customer. Colecraft was actually started in Buffalo in 1953. The Colecraft name came from the Cole family, and they founded that in Buffalo. Then new ownership sold to the second owner, who moved it to Lancaster, New York. And then in 2003, it was moved here in actually Falconer. You can see our old building in Falconer. And then in 2012, we purchased the old Crawford warehouse. And that was, as you can see, just a warehouse. So we had to retrofit, turn it into a manufacturing facility and greatly expand our manufacturing capabilities. We have 25 local employees currently and 26, sorry.
In the presentation, all the folks on Zoom can't see it.
Oh, okay.
So
we keep it.
you were here.
Yes. Okay. Thank you. 26 field representatives. So you can see on the map here, we ship mostly along the Eastern United States, but we also have done work overseas. We've shipped some furniture to Paris. We have some upcoming furniture going to Japan. We've shipped to South America and Canada. So we have a pretty far reach here from Jamestown. Our customers are dealers. We don't sell direct to businesses. We sell to a dealer network that is reached out to through our representatives. We have architects and designers that we like to work with, as well as government entities and higher education. We like to consider ourselves the complete solution. Custom and bespoke, we serve business, we serve education, we serve institutional, healthcare, hospitality. Sorry, I think I missed this. We have our buying groups. So we're on state contract, we're on multiple contracts. So people that are buying for a municipality or a school, we serve that market. And this first slide is actually a picture at the Randolph Library. And so we have a design development team, engineering, manufacturing, and white glove installation all right here based in our Jamestown, New York location. Now I'd like to turn it over to Tom.
Put some goggles on here. Thank you, Aaron. So take a notice to the reception desk or circulation desk at the Randolph Library, the dental work molding, as we call it, and the construction, because I'll make reference to it again. So one of our first local installation back in the history of the company that was very significant was BWB. And right down here, the BWB building. And that was really our first exposure at a high profile job, if you will. That included a reception desk, a large conference table, and some offices. We work in both hardwood and wood veneer, as well as laminate. We also do really cool things in Corian and all different kinds of opportunities for design and style. So after that, it's jumping here on me. Our second major project was here at the Prendergast Library. It was featured in FDM MC magazine. That's a furniture design manufacturer magazine. And the reason that that was such an exciting project for us was the construction of the desk and also the wall. We did all of the shelving, all of the tables in there. But what was unique was the circulation desk, in that it is book matched oak that goes around the circular circulation desk. But what's notable is that desk is actually conical shaped. So it's not just a curve, it's a cone as well. So what our engineers knew to do was to have the flitches of veneer sewn to have gussets at the top of the curve, so the grain would remain vertical, which is pleasing to the eye. Our tagline is the art of detail. It's that detail that if we wouldn't do, you'd look at it and say, something looks odd here. But because it doesn't look odd, we've done our job and we paid attention to that detail. So all of the flitches for the circulation desk, as well as the wall on top, are also from the same log. Again, it's the art of detail, and that's what we do. Another local installation we take a lot of pride in is with the Phillips Lytle. And with that project, again, it gave us an opportunity not only for a reception desk, but also desking, but also with architectural walls as well. And that was integrating the style of the reception desk, but also then integrating glass. And as you notice, it's on a curve. So the wall curves and the glass is faceted. Again, it's those small details that really makes us stand out as to what we do. So the Sheldon Foundation was another local installation that we did. And I draw your attention to the reception desk. If you notice, it's very similar to the style of the Randolph Library. Now, the story behind that, and unfortunately, all of our projects have a story. And our CEO, Dave Messinger, if he were here, he loves to tell the stories, but they don't serve dinner here. So Dave knows the stories, and his passion comes through telling the story. That's what drives all of us. But the story behind the Sheldon Foundation design is the folks were down at the Randolph Library and they thought that the circulation desk was very cool. Could we make that style translate to their office, their headquarters? And we're like, sure, why not? That's what we do. So there's an example where you have a circulation desk that, again, ties into the conference table and also into other furniture. We always say at Colecraft, and what we always tell our sales representatives is to remind the client, whenever you walk into an office, a corporate entity, their client's impression of that organization starts with the reception desk. It's that first impression that sets the tone for that business. Take, for example, we've done a lot with Schultz Automotive Group. This is the current setup at the Ford dealership. Again, it's that first impression that our clients are looking for and that we deliver. In fact, we do a lot in the automotive field. We do a lot for Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram. In fact, the millennial package that dealers picked from originally was one of our designs. And we were very involved with the design of the Jeep furniture for showrooms. We are also, as you see with Schultz Ford, we can do any of the Ford presentations, and we've done quite a few of those. GM as well with Fucillo up in Buffalo, as well as with Schultz in Jamestown. We've done Subaru in Missouri. So we've done a lot of different projects where it's different car manufacturers. We'll get back to that in a minute. Another one of our really cool designs is always working with Chautauqua Institution. We are so blessed to have Chautauqua Institution here. It gives us so many opportunities for many businesses, and we're included in that. Chautauqua came to us and they said, we want a welcome center, a visitor center that gives us not only the tradition of Chautauqua, but also a look towards the future. So we designed this with the thought of the Athenaeum, where you have the balusters in the hotel, have the shapes of the bats. If you look very closely at this reception desk, the panels, we cut them out on our CNC machine to replicate the bats. So keeping that tradition alive in the furniture is really what our designers thrive upon. And we do all that design in-house and engineering in-house. Also, too, with this particular project, they wanted columns that showed basically strength and stability and building kiosks around that. So it's something where they kind of gave us a blank page. Our designers went with it and really succeeded. Not too long ago, Chautauqua wanted to have a business center. Being a hospitality entity, a lot of business people spending the season there wanted to conduct business while they were on vacation, if you will. So again, Chautauqua came to us and they said, we have a space. Can you design it to be an appealing business center? It's one thing to have a room with a desk, but it has to be something that people will be drawn to and they'll find appealing. So we said, sure, we can do that. So we had a design that we've done for universities where we have the high chairs that are rounded. And this is called a collaboration table in the middle there. And that is height adjustable. And it has a monitor right with it. So it's ideal for Zoom meetings, for professionals. Also, too, out in the open area that we built high top tables for them, and also low tables with stations for individual communication. Another installation we just completed, and if you get a chance to see this, I encourage you, the Church of Christ Media Center at Chautauqua Institution. With COVID, they really have ramped up their game as far as Zoom meetings and broadcasting. So they asked us to help convert the church into a broadcast studio. So we did. We built the complete surrounds for them, and there's actual stone there. It's lick and stick stone, if you're familiar with that term. It's a facade. And we built the furniture, the desking, and so on and so forth. The point of it is, what we do as a company is we listen to the client's vision and we build it, is essentially what we do. And that's the excitement of it. That's what makes it fun. Jamestown Community College, here's an example where we do stadium seating, if you will, for classrooms as well as presentation rooms. We do a lot with the SUNY system in general, RIT, University at Albany. We also do some pretty big schools out of the area as well. We make the old-fashioned lab tables as well that we all remember from high school with the black epoxy tops. So it's kind of cool that we do the traditional things as well. This is just an example at SUNY Fredonia. We also do dining furniture as well. So the broad scope of what we do, it's really, really cool. So I want to talk a little bit now, kind of change gears and talk about some of our projects we've done nationally. This is a very cool project. This is the Indigo Hotel in Atlanta. It's in the Fox Theater District. And the company we worked with, the designers you can see there, is called Backlot Productions. And the idea was the Fox Theater District is where music is the hotbed of entertainment and traditional entertainment in Atlanta. So Intercontinental Hotels said, can you design, to Backlot, they said, can you design an appealing theme that is music? Backlot said, we can design it and Colecraft can build it. And we did. So what you have on the bar that looks like keys, as it's supposed to on a piano, that's inlaid quartz, made right here in Jamestown. We hauled it down there. The back bar is very cool. So the back bar, initially Backlot Design said, let's have a metal grate that would come down on the boxes. And what those boxes are, there's some display stemware and display liquor bottles. So when the bar would be open, you have the boxes, and when the bar is closed, a grate would come down. Well, one of our designers, in fact, our vice president of design, Ben Kozlowski, said, I have a better idea. What do you say, instead of having some metal grate come down, we take the boxes and they all spin like Vanna White's letters on Wheel of Fortune. So they're all connected together vertically. You turn the bottom box, it turns the boxes above it, turn all of them around, and on the back side of the boxes is a mural of the Indigo logo. And once we showed Backlot those drawings, they were like, yeah, we got to do this. And the other cool thing is that entire back bar has LED lighting that not only does the entire box glow in light, but each individual box glows in light because each has an acrylic floor and you don't see any wires or lighting. And they can also make it move back and forth to the music as well. So those are the kinds of things we bring to the table. The design is there, but then we can say, you know what, we can engineer and make this happen. All in little Jamestown on Allen Street. Who would have thunk, huh? So here's another thing, who would have thought? So Bentley Motor Cars decided a few years ago that they were going to expand in the United States. So they contacted American Interiors, which is a interior design and furniture dealer in Cleveland. It's one of the large Knoll dealers in the United States. And Bentley came to American Interiors and they said, we have a vision of what we want, but we want to see what vision an American manufacturer would have. So we were invited along with 24 other companies, to submit drawings of what we thought furniture in a Bentley showroom should look like. Well, it got down to 5 and we were chosen. From there, the people from Bentley came over, they toured our facilities and talked to our management and talked to our designers and said, what do you have for us? So our company designed the furniture with something in mind that none of the other 4 had thought of. We were all invited to Detroit for a show of mock-ups, and that's what these pictures are of the mock-ups. What made Colecraft stand out from the other 4 is our furniture did not overshadow the cars. The other 4 manufacturers made the furniture shiny and glossy and exciting. And, you know, we had the idea of the people are there to see the cars, not the furniture. And ideally, the Bentley management agreed with us and we won that contract. And there's about 52 Bentley dealers in North and South America. And as Aaron said, we have shipped to Bentley in Paris, Japan, Lima, Peru. Who would have thought there's a Bentley dealership in Lima, Peru? It's kind of interesting to me. But some of the ones we're working on right now that are coming out, for example, Columbus, Ohio. So there's still quite a few Bentley dealerships, but it's another one of those examples where it's an international exposure from a little company on Allen Street. We all drive by and not have any idea what they do in there. This is a project that we just completed last Monday. This is Avient Chemicals. It's outside of Cleveland. And what's neat about this project, we were brought in this project with a company called Root Technology. What Root Technology does is they integrate AV into furniture. So with Aviant, what's neat about this, that center piece, if you can see on the picture, rises up with 5 screens on it. So the board of directors sit around this large table. I think there's placement for 20 people. And when they have their meetings, since it's an international company and they zoom in, they have large screen TVs like this, but then that center console rises so they can all see it. And then when they have their meeting, it comes back down again. Another idea where Root said, this is our vision, can you build it? And we said, that's what we do. Here's a nice little project we just completed about a month ago. There's this gentleman down in North Carolina. His name is Mac Brown. He is the coach of University of North Carolina football. So 49 Degrees is a design firm that does sports furniture. And they only design it. They don't manufacture it. So they came to us and they said, Coach Brown has an idea. He wants to have this table with a glass box. And when he's sitting with a recruit, now you have to understand, he's sitting this way. The table is overlooking windows that overlook the field. Okay. So if Erin was trying to be, I'm trying to recruit her for University of North Carolina, she's going to sit there and I'm Coach Mack and I'm going to sit here and I'm going to say, now, Erin, this could be all yours. And he pushes a button and that center section comes up and you can see all the championship rings and watches in there. And then we assume he says, now, Erin, just take a look over your shoulder because it all starts out there and it overlooks the field. How cool is that? And that was a great opportunity for our company to be able to participate in that. But again, to make that design happen. So 49 Degrees, what a fun company. And we're so glad we partner with them. Another large company we partner with is called Perkins and Will. If you are familiar in Pittsburgh, Perkins Eastman, it's all part of the Perkins design family. They're based out of New York City. Efficient Capital Management is a large firm in Chicago, and they had a CEO, still have a CEO, who had a very specific vision of what he wanted in the furniture, bespoke. So he came to Jamestown. He met with our CEO, Dave. He met with Ben, our Vice President of Engineering. And this gentleman was so hands-on. He wanted to select the veneer. He wanted to select the accent panels, the stone, so on and so forth. So this has happened quite frequently where we have clients that are very in tune and very specific with what they want. And a lot of times these designs start on the back of a napkin. That's what bespoke is all about. But again, Perkins and Will being a national design company, what a great opportunity to work with them. So let me give you a little bit of idea of how the process works. This is a project we did again with American Interiors in Cleveland. Noble Road Library, it's outside of Cleveland. The client came to American Interiors and then to us and said, this is a magazine picture, a picture out of a magazine of a circulation desk, but we'd like to have sort of that shape. So that's shown the big picture. The 2 smaller pictures was the current library that they had. Kind of a mess for sure. So the first thing that we do is try to understand what the client is looking for. So we do what we call call outs. We say, okay, you want a circulation desk. This is approximately the size. You need these, what we call box files, which is all the PEDs and so on and so forth. Let's talk materials, specifics. We get all of that down, and then we move into the engineering phase. Then we do in-house all of the CAD drawings of basically the footprint and also the elevation drawings. And then from there, we do very basic color renderings. And I'll show you other color renderings that are, photo quality, but these are what we call shop renderings, or just basically renderings to get the idea of what it might look like. Well, of course, they were over the moon. They said, sure, let's build it. And this is the product in the factory. So that is all made out of laminate. So, it's something where our craftsmen, it's really special to be able to work in plastic. It's really what it is, plastic laminate. It's called HPL. So here's some other shots of this desk. As you can see, they look like lollipops, but they're actually trees. And this is for a children's library. So they were over the moon when we did that installation. When it comes to wood veneer, we're one of the few companies in the country that still does traditional wood veneer. This happens to be over at the Jackson Center. And what is special about this is the appellate court desks. So there are 5 desks. When they have 5 judges, they use all 5. When they have 3, they use 3, they take 2 away. Now, I mentioned the art of detail is what our tagline is. The idea being all of these pieces, 5 pieces together, are interchangeable. So that's huge because you have dental molding on the product itself that the count has to come out exactly. So all 5 of them start and stop on the same vein. Also, too, with the wood veneer, you can see the cathedrals on the oak. They all have the same number of cathedrals and they all stop just like they began. So you don't have to have desk A beside desk B. You can mix them up because you wouldn't want to have an appellate court and you're the defendant sitting there looking at that dental molding and be distracted. You know, you would be, I would be, I'd be saying, my gosh, that dental molding doesn't line up, Your Honor. You know, I mean, it would be very awkward. The point of it is, we're one of those few companies in the country that can still do that traditional work and understand that traditional work, if you will. So as I've been saying, what makes us stand out is we listen to the client, we collaborate with them. More importantly, we partner with them. For example, the large picture there with the greenery, that's what we call biophilic design. That desk is in Cincinnati, Ohio. It's one of our dealers. You walk into APG in Cincinnati on Culvert Street. Those of you familiar with Cincinnati, I'm very. And what you see is a reception desk, a planter, and a conference table all in one unit. Thing's about 40 feet long. So we do make furniture with live plants. Kind of a cool thing. The other picture is a triangular table. It's a glass, back painted glass top table. So we do that as well. So we can back paint glass in-house any color you would like. There's so many cool things that we can do. When it comes to signage, we do all the signage in-house. We can do the carved cutouts like you see on the lectern there with JCC. We can do acrylic curved letters that are backlit, all kinds of cool things. The project you see Continental there, that's for Continental Tire down in Alabama. They asked us to do a reception desk for their plant in Alabama. The large picture at the bottom is very cool. That's called the Bentley Hero Wall. There is a large screen monitor as big as this in there. And then the graphic that you see in the screen is literally a silk screen picture that they change out quarterly depending on the season, and they park a car in front of it. That whole wall is about 30 feet long, about 14 feet tall. So just cool things like that. When it comes to different materials, we do a lot of furniture where we're putting granite and corian and veneer on the same piece. We do what's called live edge, where they take trees and hew and cut them, and we finish them, and it's basically a hunk of a tree. So a lot of cool opportunities there for design. If you've ever been out to Cummins, this is a great story. As I said, all of our projects have stories. Cummins came to us and they said, we want a reception desk that is a wow factor. And again, we designed it. And those are actual crankshafts from Cummins. We took them up to Buffalo and had them chromed. And then we custom made tops and bottoms of the crankshafts to tie them into the reception desk, had it cut out of billet steel, actually billet aluminum, and then polished. So it looks like it should be part of the desk. It's another part of that. It's a wow factor. Can you see there's never a dull day at Colecraft? You know, people call up with these ideas and instead of us saying, what? We say, yeah, let's do it. So here's an example where it can start also where it just is a phone call or a Zoom meeting with the client, and our designers will sketch away while we're talking to the client. And then we can come up with very picture quality renderings of what it'll look like. So that's just a little taste of what we do. If you haven't had a chance to take a look at our website, I encourage you to do that. The custom installations is a really cool part of the website, but the part that I like to go to is the bespoke designs, because as we get projects daily and the renderings are done, we put them all on that bespoke design. So it's always updated, but there's a lot of things on there where you just think to yourself, wow. And that's the cool part about it. So we like to close by saying, why Colecraft? Well, I think that should be an easy answer. Why not? But basically because we're a world-class organization. We have the experience to do these projects. We know how to do these projects. Many times though, the designer has a vision, but our engineers have to reel them in. Like, you have a reception desk, you want it to cantilever 12 feet. You can't do that. It won't work. It won't stand up. We do run into that. So we have that expertise to be able to engineer those designs with custom solutions and standard solutions. So the cool thing is we have everything from the wood shop to everything done by CNC, working in laminate, thermoforming, Corian, all kinds of really, really cool things. And the nice thing is that what we do, all of it has a 10-year warranty. And that's big in the industry, because a lot of this furniture you just don't know because no one else has built one before. So do we run into problems, 8, 9 years down the road? Sometimes, but knock on wood, we do pretty well at that. But it's always a risk because we're doing things no one else has done before. So thank you for your time. Certainly appreciate it. If you're in the area down on Allen Street, stop in. Love to see you. Give you a little tour. Any questions, Russ? Yes, Pat. Yes, yes. Allen Street is our only location of manufacturing. We do not have any companies building subcomponents for us. We do everything in-house, but ironically, we do build sub-assemblies for other furniture companies. And actually some of our competition, we build sub-assemblies for them. So kind of a cool thing. David.
These are pretty amazing installations.
Yes.
Products. And I'm trying to put that together in my mind with one of your earlier graphics that said you have 25 staff people.
Yes.
How are you generating all of this stuff with these 25 people?
Aaron and I are going right back, getting out there to shop the sanding blocks. It's interesting that a lot of what we do is mechanized. We did have 2 CNC machines. Now we just have a large CNC machine. So things run through the plant kind of in 3 phases, where you have the initial parts are cut out. That's all done. A CNC machine is one of those big cutters that just runs by a computer. So it's all computerized to cut out the pieces. And then it's going to take 1 of 2 turns. It's going to go to the wood shop. We just have people in the wood shop that all day are, working, sanding and staining and so on and so forth. Then the other side of the shop is the lamination. The lamination is a little more mechanized, but it's amazing that even with the wood working, a lot of it is done with machines, very high tech. So you don't really need a tremendous amount of people. Surprising. Yes, Sue. Yes, and yes, predominantly on the job training. Our vendors who we work with, for example, MCO here in Jamestown, they do our finishes. They'll come and do seminars with our guys. They'll do training days with our guys. We work with Bennett up in Buffalo. They are our distributor for Wilson Art. Wilson Art is laminate. They're based out of Tyler, Texas and Columbus, Ohio. So they will come in with people and work with our guys to train them and keep them up to date with new things that are going on. In fact, we do go to national shows. Neocon is next weekend. We're not going to Neocon this year because of COVID, but we usually go to the national shows to see what's going on in the industry, keep up with the industry, but most of it too is on the job training for our guys. Russ? knock on wood, we're doing okay as far as raw materials. Most of our raw materials, as far as the wood, comes out of Canada. So there hasn't been problems there. As I said, Bennett is our wholesaler up in Buffalo. Bennett has been great with warehousing everything that we need. Our components, as far as our table bases of tables like you have in here today, our main supplier of those, both of them are in Michigan. So they haven't had problems. The only thing that's been killing us, Russ, has been steel prices. Steel prices have just been going up astronomically. Every time we turn around, it's another 10%, 18%. You know, that's just making us crazy. But we're very fortunate in that, as I said, we don't rely on other people to build our components. So we're very fortunate there that we don't rely on that container coming from China. In fact, it's been good for us because many of our competitors can't produce because they don't press their own board, for example. They get their board pre-pressed from China or Canada. But the other thing that's an advantage for us is we can use any kind of laminate that our clients want, any color, any manufacturer. When you buy, you know, a table from us, our competitors limit you maybe to 5 laminates. We'll use any laminate that's commercially available. Doesn't matter to us. So that helps us out in that we're able to supply what our competitors can't. So it's been good. Knock on wood. Hope it stays good for sure. For sure. I think that's an Aaron question. See how I diverted that?
Yeah, one of my hats
That
is
was
human
smooth.
resources. Yeah, I would say it's a challenge to find workers here in Jamestown that have the skill. What we try to do is grow internally. We try to hire some bright people and pick the best and have a bit of an apprenticeship program and let them grow within the organization to get into where they become the craftsmen, the skilled craftsmen that can do the high end work that we need to do. Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Because we'll keep you here all day. Aaron, Tom, thank you both for being here today. One of Rotary's major international programs is the eradication of polio in the world. We are down to just 2 countries in the world where polio exists. And in honor and thanks for your presentation to our club today, we will make a donation in your name that will vaccinate 4 children who will never experience polio in their life. Remembering this year's Rotary theme, serve to change lives, caring for and serving others is the best way to live because it changes not only other people's lives, but also our own. Thank you, and thank you for sticking with us. We ran a little over time today, but we had a great presentation. We are adjourned.